This
Yep.
conference will now be recorded.
All right, so you guys can see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so thanks, Manmohan. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, based on your time location. Myself is Rohit, and I am working as a Salesforce consultant in Deloitte Digital US India office. I am currently in Bangalore, and I am a certified Salesforce application architect. Thanks for the Decode certification team for helping me achieving this goal. And this is the first time I'm speaking in this, and thanks for the Bhavna and Manmohan for preparing the content and things. So you can follow me on the LinkedIn with this, and I'm quite active in the LinkedIn and your WhatsApp. You can contact me. If anything is there, I'll definitely help you. So this is about me, and I'll just go back and talk about the group. So this is about our group. This is what we do, what we have here. So we are an unofficial Salesforce group. What that means is this group is led by Bhavna and Manmohan, and what we do here is we share our knowledge, our experience. We learn together about the Salesforce and the Salesforce.com ecosystem capabilities. Any one of you want to join or present any session, you can definitely reach out to Bhavna or Manmohan. They can help you to prepare for this session. And you can follow us on this Twitter, Decode SF certification. If you're not following, then please go and then follow this group. We are generally very active on this. Any upcoming information about the session or any related content about the Salesforce, we generally post there. So please follow it. Yeah, this is next slide is about this Decode SF certification team. First one is Bhavna Banoda. She is a founder of this Decode SF certification group. She is a group leader, Women in Tech Amsterdam group leader. She is a marketing champion as well, and she's working as a Salesforce consultant, Eco Netherlands. You can follow her on LinkedIn and the Twitter. And the next we have Vinay Sel. He's a domain architect in Canon, Netherlands. He's certified application and system architect. You can follow him on LinkedIn, Twitter. Yes, and he's preparing for this CTA, as we all know. So hopefully we'll listen some good news. And about Manmohan, he's a co-founder of this group, and he's a co-leader of the Amsterdam developer group as well. You can follow him on LinkedIn, Twitter. He's a Salesforce lead consultant in Infosys Netherlands. So any one of you have any question related to the group, Salesforce, anything, you can reach out to them. Feel free to reach out. Yeah, so about this community cloud certification. So this certification is for the administrator or advanced administrator, or you a Salesforce developer or a solution designer or consultant. So you can definitely go and learn and give this certification. For the certification, registration fee is 200 USD in case, and the passing score is 62%. In case if you are not able to clear the exam, then the retake fees is 100 USD. Right? The total time limit for this is 90 minute system multiple choice question. So this is about the yes. Okay, today is a session 4, community builder. So that is the weightage of this specific portion is 11%. So I'll be just walking you through that, how you set up the community at the first time, and how you publish the community for your end user. How does it look like? How do you customize if you have the standard template or the custom template and all those things? So let's see what. Okay, so these are the other topics which I have, and I'm going to present these all of. And the more thing, I'll be giving you the a demo that how you can establish your community. How do you go and changes all this information? So let me just log in into my Salesforce account. Yes, here we go. Okay, so this is the fresh Salesforce org. If anyone of you haven't set up the community before, so it's really good for you. So I'll just go and enable the community. I know this this already been explained in the last session, but I'll just take a 5-minute to set up the community in the first stage, and I'll be publishing that and show you the demo that how your end user can see this community. So I'll be just logging into this. community settings, enable the community. You can give any domain name, anything you may have, decode, cert, let's say a test 5 or something. Yeah. So I just enabled a community in my org. I'll be just creating a new community. Let's say I've chosen this customer service template. You can choose anything. We have the standard lightning or sales and service templates over here. Let me just get started. Decode SF community. This, yeah, this is the first time I'm creating. Then the another thing is we have to create a profile. It's not necessary, but I'm just creating it because you have the option available in the community. Do you want to use the standard profile or the custom one which you created? So I still haven't published the community, so I'll be just creating the custom profile here. I'll be cloning the existing profile. So let's say clone my custom community profile. Yes. And you can see this is the community I've created here. So what I'll do is just I'll go to the builder. So before starting this builder section, I'll be just publishing this community first, and then the changes which I'll do here in the community, then we can see how does it look like for the end user. So, and the important thing here is whenever you create a community, before activating the community, first publish the community. Why? Because whenever you publish the community, Salesforce create few lightning component and the community related Apex classes that been generated by default. So if you not publishing the community and activating it first, you may not be able to log in as a end user, because those are the it's a required information for the community to log in as a community user. So I'll be just publishing here. Let me just publish it. Yeah, here we go. And then I'll be going to the administration section. In this, yes, so this is what I was talking about. You no need to click on this activate at the very first time. First publish your community, and then we will get back on this to activate it. Here we do not have to do anything. Let's go to the member. So the profile which I have created, I can use that. So that is my custom community profile. Any other profile if you want for the community user to log in with or specify the specific permissions, you can use it. That's perfectly fine. I'll just save it. Yeah, here we go. Then login and registration. In that you can change your logo, anything, background color. Those we have already seen. So I'm not going to tell you all those. Now this is the option which is save that allow external user for the self-register. So if you didn't publish the community, then you won't be able to see this standard visual, or sorry, standard lighting component which is generated by Salesforce. That's why I was saying that first you enable the community and then come back and then activate it. I'll select my profile here. Let's say the account. This is the fresh org, so I'll be looking for Berlin. That is the standard account. I'm choosing it because the person account is not enabled in my org, so I have to choose the existing account. So any of the community user who is logged in with, then those community user will be a part of this account. I'll say save, and I'll come back to settings here. Yeah, I'll say activate the community. Yes, community has been activated. I'll just copy this and open new tab. You see here, this is your community login page. So this page is generated by default. The Salesforce system has already published this page, so we no need to create anything from the scratch for login to the user. We can customize this as per our need. So as I haven't logged in with any of the members, I'll click on this not a member, and let me just, okay, so it's a test user code SF1, something like that. I'll just give a name. Let's say first name is test, then user one. This is the email ID I'm using. Okay, and then I'll sign up. Okay, it's giving me the error. Yeah. Okay, so I know what is the error is, but people, those who are setting up this community at the first time, so if any, while logging at the end user, if you're getting any of the error, you definitely check your email. Generally, Salesforce send you an email, what is the problem at the end user. So here, what is the problem is the account. Yeah, so I have this account which I use for this. Let me just. Sorry, I don't remember that name. All right. So basically, this account owner, whosoever the account you're selecting for this community, if this account owner does not have any role, then it won't allow user to create your community user. So make sure you have this role for this account owner. I'll just go. Yeah, here we go. So I'll just change the role. If you have written any custom validation, anything, so if you're not able to log in with your community user, you can definitely check your email. Salesforce is sending you the emails as what went wrong, why the user is not able to log in, because you cannot set up a debug at this moment because the site user is not logged in yet, and I don't think so anything will come in your debug log. So that's the reason. I'll just click on this sign up. Yes, I'm able to register. I can check my email now. So this is the user one. Quickly, I'll just set up the user two. All right, I logged in with the community user. You can see the community, the home page is the same as we have seen earlier while building up this. And if I go to this account and I refresh it, then the customer will be associated to this specific account because this is what we initially selected while setting up the community. Similarly, I will just create a one more user. Why I need to create it? Because I have to give you the demo based on that. How you can differentiate the community same homepage with the different users. So I'm going to go to this validator. Whatever name I've taken, let's say 2. And then sorry, let me go to the here we go. Not a member. Test user 2. All right, I have logged in with the user 1 and user 2. Now I'll go back to the community. So if I search the community here, you can see all the community information. This community is been enabled, so you will see all the options related to this community. And then yeah, so if I'll go to this workspace, then we have a different option here. Yes, so we have a builder, moderation, content management, administration, dashboard, gamification, and guide setup. Administration and content management already been explained in the last session, so I'll be just walking you through this builder, how you build up your community as per your client requirement. So once you click on this builder, Salesforce is open this builder page. You can see here you can publish anything, any content if you change it here, and you can preview as an admin as well. You don't need to log in as a community user all the time to check the changes. Salesforce has given the option here to preview as well. The important thing here is you have to publish the community whenever you change in this community, builder or this setup. If you are changing anything in the backend profile or any community settings, you don't need to go and publish the community all the time. So for example, I'll be starting with the first one. This is the home page. If I'll click on this, you see that there's a template pages is available, and here we have the login pages, right? So this is system generated by system, and these are the pages when I was logging with the community user. These are the pages, login pages you will be seeing that time. So these are the pages. You can create your own pages and Lightning components as well. So what I'll do is I'll just click on this new page. When I click on this new page, system asks me to select whether do you want to create the standard page or the object page. What does that mean is the standard page is nothing but your kind of a page layout which you're creating. So in the page layout, what you have the different sections, you have the button and the related information, all those things. The same way you can set it up here. If I'll click on this standard, you see here Salesforce has the current layout. This is available by default. So you have this one full width column, second, and then different types of column, and the layout is available. But what if your requirement is something different? For that, the content layout is not available. So don't worry about it. You can add your own Lightning component here, and you can drag and drop your standard or your custom Lightning component to that community layout, so that it will be visible for the end user. I'll just quickly give you the demo for it. I have the code available with me. I'll just quickly deploy it to this org, and then we'll see that how does that look like. For time being, I'll just create this current and then say next. I'll give a name that my custom page. You can give any of the API name here. This is the URL which talk about that this page either can be accessed by an end user when you want him to log in into the community, or this will be accessed without the login as well. So I'll give you the demo for those, because there are a few pages, for example, your feedback or any other information page which you don't want user to log in. Just go and send the community link. He'll be clicking on that and just seeing or giving you the feedback about the community. So you can set it up in the both way, and I'll just create it. You see here, this is the content header. You can drag and drop any of your Lightning component or any standard component here. Okay, and this you see here, and if I'll click on this setup, then here is the option available for this, that do you want user to log in or let it be a public site. So you can set it up the way you want. And I'll just go to my, so this is the code I just have. I'll copy this, and before copying it, I have already set up the things in my VS Code. I'll be just taking the retrieving. Just give me a minute. Why I'm retrieving is because as I set up the community first time, so the standard classes which are generated by a system, I'll just give you and I'll show you here that how does it. So if you see here that the login form and everything is generated by a system, you don't need to worry about it. These classes are as available. You can modify it the way you want. Anything you can add it and change it as per your requirement. So that is perfectly fine. I will just create a new lightning component and just push it to my org. So I'll say lightning component uh, community layout. Yeah. So this is the lightning component I have created, and as I told you that this is the sample code I have here. So I'll just copy and pasting this code in my VS Code, and sorry, let's change this to, yeah. Okay. So how do you make sure that the lightning component is visible in your community? So we have the interface here called force community layout. Make sure that if you wanted to add your community component in your pages here for the this layout, then definitely this interface should be available in your lightning component, or else you won't be able to see. Then I've created a two attribute here, which is a type of aura component, because when I move this lightning layout to my community, I can add any custom or the standard component, and those component will be run independently on that template. So the type should be the aura.component is by the Salesforce, and I've created a two column here, just a column 1 and column 2, because you see here, if any of the, when you click on this new page, yeah, I'll go to standard. Yeah, so any, if a requirement doesn't suit your based on your column or the layout, then definitely you can change it. So I'll just push it to my org. I'll say deployed source to org. Once it's done, I'll just refresh my page here. Yeah, I'll go to the same. I'll click on this new, select on the standard page, and you see here the lightning component layout. What I have created is here. So if I'll click on this, my custom lightning layout, yeah, create. So I've just created a column 1 and column 2. Similarly, you can modify it because here is the programming, so you can definitely modify it with whatever is not available as in the lightning community. So this is the first thing. Second, in that I'll be creating a new page again, and this is for the object access object page. What do you mean by this object page is, let's say whenever you create any custom object in the Salesforce, so you no need to create about the list views, the related list, and the detail page. Those are comes by default, right? So same way here, whenever you create this object pages, either it's a standard or a custom, Salesforce automatically create pages for account. For example, I'm taking the account here, then the account detail page will be created, and account list view will be created, account related list page will be created. Those are by default. Okay, so I'll just clicking on this. I'll select my account. I'll say, you can see here any of the custom object, anything if you created here, you'll be able to use it. I'll say create. Yeah, here you see this. So the detail and list and related list, these three pages you will be coming up whenever I create this object pages. So I'll say create. Yes. So when you click on this create, automatically system redirect you to this account and account detail page. This is how the page will be look like for the end user, right? So you see here the detail page will be looking like this. What I'll just do it, I'll publish it, and I have already logged in with the community user. Okay, no problem. Let me just log in with the user second. Yeah. Now I added this account pages, but still this page is not visible for the user. So what you have to do is that pages is created to use in your community, but till the time you will not set it up, it won't be visible. So what I'll just do it, I'll create a quick tab for the account here. So this already been explained, so I will not walk you through inside that how does it work. I'll just quickly add one tab here and I'll say account. You can set it up the account page, external URL, anything. I'll just setting up this Salesforce object, let's say account detail, and save it. So you see here the account page is visible here. If I see a preview as an admin, then if I go to this account, you can see the account because I'm logged in as admin, so I will be able to see the other account as well. But if you're logged in with the community user, you will be only able to see this Berlin till the time you are not sharing this account explicitly with your community user. And if I click on this account, this is how the detail page will be looking like, and this is the standard generated by a system. So same thing, I'll just come back to the printer. I'll say publish. Each and every time, as I said, whenever you are adding anything into your community, you have to publish. So I'll go here, refresh this. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, you can see here. So this is the only related account record the user have the access. So these are the information you can see here. However, if you don't want this space to be visible, you can add your own Lightning component, any account. Let's say you want to add any account related information along in the single page. So of course you have the option to add it using the Lightning component. And next what I'll you have is I'll go to this home page. So the next is your audience. What does that mean is let's say I publish the community for my end user, and I just based on the country or the specific region, I want to publish the different pages for the different community users. So how can I do that? So you have that option here. If I go to this home page, I'll click on this page properties. Then we have the option here is called page variations. Here you can just click on this and create a duplicate record for the home. Here it is. I will say and rename this. Let's say home page India, and I'll just save it. Right, so these are the two pages I have created, and then I'll click on this. We have something called audience. This is use, you can set up the property or the condition to visible this specific home page for the different set of users. So I'll click on this manage audience. There is a no audience, set it up here. Whenever this option is available for this, for example, your custom Lightning component, any component in the page, if you have this option, then you can use it to view that layout in a different user mode, I would say. So I'll just add a condition. Okay, here I will go to, so you see here you can, based on the location, if you have any permission set, profile and user, these are the only information which is available here to make this page available for the end user. I'll be just taking the user. I'll go for the contact and I'll say the mailing country. If it is equal to India, okay, home page for India, as a save. Something. What is the previous?
I think value is a lookup field which you need to select.
I think, okay, it's coming as India. Thank you. Country is a text field here, but that's fine. Just say save. Okay, and then this is the audience I have just created. I'll say, so you can go here, you can click on assign. So for the India, what I'll do is I'll just go and click on assign. I select this, and you have this button here called assign. So this audience condition is assigned for this homepage for India, and then I'll just say done. I'll go back. Select homepage for India. Change a little bit. Right. Welcome to India. Yeah. So I'll say publish. Yes, and for this user, which I've logged in here, I'll go at the backend and update his mailing country as India. So if I go to this user, say refresh. Go to my home tab. Okay, maybe I logged in with the user 2. Yeah, it is. Okay, so for the user 1, it is like this, and sorry, for user 2, it is the default homepage. For the user 1, yes, for the user 1, it should come as in India. So I'll just logging out from this user. So, yes, so you can use this Audion to show your community page based on the different user. This is exactly same as the record type. What do you use in your Salesforce for the object? So for the using a one record type or multiple record type, you can access a multiple page layout. It's a similarly like that. And what I'll just do it here after that is, okay, so I'll be coming back to this. Okay, so here we have the page structure. If I go to my slides. Yes, community builder, these are the main components you have in the community builder. These are components. In that components, what you can do is you can add your standard or your custom component. So the way we have seen that how to add the lightning layout component to the community. You can change your theme and the page structure because the page is generated by default. So if you want to add and remove anything, you can use this specific option, themes and page structure, to use that, which is available. You can change your image, font color, or color information of the text, button, anything. And we have the general settings about the individual community which we created. So just let's go one by one, then I'll just show you that how are these things are working. So for the lightning component, you see here, I can drag and drop any lightning component here. For example, let's say you want me to drop the calendar here. This is the standard one. So the calendar will be available in this. And if I publish this, so for the end user also, this calendar would be visible where the home page is, yeah, this is the home page for India. So I'll just refresh it here. Yes, so this is the calendar is visible. What if you want to add the custom lightning component into here? So again, I just have a code snippet available with me, and then I'll just add it and deploy it to my org so that you'll be able to see, because currently I do not have any lightning component available to use in the community. So what I'll just do is the way we push this, I'll just create quickly another one. So let's say lightning component sample. I'm unable to see here. Yeah. Okay, so if you are using this lightning component in your community, then you should have this force community available pages interface in your lightning component. Then only this will be available for your lightning community pages, or else it won't be available for you. So what I'll just do it, I'll deploy it into simply what I've done here is I created an attribute, a string attribute, and the lightning card. I'm just title as a my new component, and then will come as a footer as a optional footer, and this is the text will come when you see this lightning component. So this is a simple one. I will just deploy it to my org. I'll refresh it. So if I go back to this component, you see here at the bottom, you will be able to see the lightning component example. Uh, so as I've already said that the only component which have the interface is called force community available for all page type. Only those component or the component for force community layout. We have the different as well, but these are the basics which is required to visible your lightning component in your community pages. So make sure these interfaces should be available to visible this lightning component in this community page, and I'll just drag and drop the same thing here. Yes, it is coming as a my new component. I'll say publish. Maybe yeah. Okay, I'll just change the page because I've already logged in with the user, which audience set it to India. So here I will add it. Okay, I'll publish it. So as many times you are changing this community pages, you have to refresh your community page, and Salesforce will be sending an email that you recently published something on your community. Yeah, so you see the my component visible here. You can add any component, anything over here. So this is with your component. Second thing, we have the themes here. What is the themes is if you want to change this theme, you can use the existing themes which is given by the Salesforce, or anything. If you want to upload it from your end, you can do that as well. For the colors, yeah, let's say text color. So if I selected the text colors as a red, then automatically all the text color which is available in the community will be shown as a red. Same for the detailed text color, any detailed information. For example, let me change it to this. So you can see the, as you know, as I'm changing the color here, it's the same as getting reflected in my lightning community page. So this is the simple one, like based on your client requirement or how you publish your community. If you have any theme, anything related to that, if you want to use any color, you can use it. I'll be just using these only. Let's see how does it look like when I'll publish this for my end user. Then we have a page structure here. What is that page structure is all about? As I said, that when you create a community record, then this page structure will be already created by default. So the top, you see the template header top. This is what it is. Second one, you have the global search. So automatically when you click on this, what is this global search mean is this component will be pop up here. You can select or you can modify the search the way you want. These are the standard options available from the Salesforce. So right now what is happening here is maximum autocomplete result is 6, and the object, the information which you can search in your search bar is for the discussion, cases, and group. If you want, you can add any of your objects here. Is Salesforce allows that. So the same way you can go for the user profile, changing up the label, home label, anything. So these are the basic setup information for this page structure. But yeah, definitely you can change the structure, though it's generated by the system. So I'll not be walking you through for each and everything, but if you just get a time, then go and just play around with this, that how you can add any images or something on this. So this is about the page structure, and this is the important thing, the settings. Very first thing is the general settings, which is if you want to publicly accessible some of the information from the community, you can check this checkbox. So if you see here is like your some asset, some file, or any document information can be publicly accessible for the users, those who are not a part. And you can change your title here. This is the URL for your published community site. You can learn about more on the guest user profile, because guest user profile does not have all the permission as for the another because this is on the other license. So you can definitely look into that, what kind of permissions available for the standard or the custom objects. What we have here is, and theme is already been done. You can reset and change the theme. So for example, anything you have changed it here and you want to change back to what it was earlier, you definitely just go directly here and then click on this reset. The community will be same at the first time it was created. All the changes will go away. Languages is like you can set it up the language based on the reason you are, or you can publish this for your end user. What kind of a languages you want to publish your community, you can add it here. Google translation feed, yeah, this is not sure about. Navigation is already as I explained that this is about this navigation bar, so you can add any of your objects, any information. So you can, or let's say you want to list it down a few of the information, for example your feedback, under that your internal or outside feedback, anything you can use with the navigation. So this is about this your tab. CMS's content is already been explained, so I'm not walking you through with this. Google Analytics, I do not have anything for it, so I'm just leaving for time being. And this is the head markup. What is that is, if you add anything, let's say this is my community, it's a save. So this is how it will come in the top. Anything, any information, if you want to note it down for the whenever your community page is loading for the end user, so like your terms and conditions or something, you can add it. So just give me a minute, it's taking time. Yeah, so you see here at the left hand side top corner, this is whatever the text I mentioned for this top header will be visible here. Okay, component, yeah, show all components here. If you click on this, there are a few standard components is generated by the Salesforce whenever you publish the community. So if you click on this, those information will be visible for you whenever you're setting up this community. And then second one is a performance. So this is the important one. So if I just enable it, then system will give me a pop-up, and okay, I'll just go to this and I'll go to my Lightning component, and then I'll say assign display property. This is what is about your rendering property. So in the Lightning community page, you have your standard community component, your custom community component, right? So with the help of this, you can set the priority that whenever your community page is loading, which component should be visible first, and like second, or there are a few components which let them load at the end, right? So you can define the priority over here. So we have the 3 priority available. The highest is the one which will be load in the community pages at the very first. The high is after the second priority after this highest, and the neutral one is the last, right? All the components, for example your feeds, any other information which should get loaded at the end, so you can set it up here. Yeah, this is about this page rendering. So if you go to this security, I'm sorry, yeah, advanced, this is about the progressive rendering. So and next thing is a community optimizer. This is the your what you say, we have a, let me click on this. Yeah, this is the Chrome extension available here. So you can download this Chrome extension, edit it to your Google page, right? This is your Google browser. So now what is that help you with this? I'll just show you at the last. Once I will add my all the components and the other things. So basically whenever your community page refresh, and if you want to see the performance of your Lightning page, that how your page is getting loaded, how bulkify your component is that the proper way for the recommended by Salesforce, that this is how your community component should get rendered. Definitely if you want to see the information, you can use this extension. It will be show you in a very detailed way that how does it works, and even if give you kind of a percentage. Let's say, for example, for your test classes is the minimum is 75%, right? So same way for the Lightning component, if you just generate this, it will give you the output about your each and everything, either it's a standard or a custom object, and how have you set it up. So this I'll show you at the last. Next one is for the security. Yes, this is also the important thing. So like whenever you create any your Visualforce pages or other pages, right? So we have the option to secure your Visualforce pages, or let's say any form whenever user is entering any data. So how that data is not affecting your database. So we have the SQL injection and the cross-site scripting, right? So same way for the community, we have this click jack protection. What does that mean is, like, whenever your community page, any of the hacker is trying to access the your web based component, so you're clicking on or you're navigating to any of the component, any pop-up is coming, so if you're clicking on that, then it may possible that it will reset your password, or it will change something on your page. So all those things, if hacker generally they do. So if you want to stop them doing that, is then the Salesforce recommended it that you use this allow framing by the same origin only. So this should be checked over here. If not, then you may be a victim of this. Like hackers can come and access your community information or something, right? Second thing is for the content security policy. What is this? This is your like cross-site scripting. So if you have any form in your Lightning community page, right, and you are entering anything in your Lightning input, you provided any input box there, and you are entering anything, you're clicking on this button. So using this, you are stopping the hackers so that they cannot play around with your DOM elements, which can be leaded to your some malicious website. And whenever you add anything, this, or they can track your current page information, either this your ID or your user information or something. So just to make sure that these are the two settings for the Lightning community, this should be checked for this. So this is about the security. Nothing else we have here. Next one is the developer. This is about your developer, because developer console, so any of the Lightning component you created here, you can directly navigate to your developer console. You can visible those Lightning components over here. And then the updates. This update is talk about any of the recent updated for your community. If it is available, you can use it, or any information about the new feature or any update it is coming for the community, you can access it. Yeah. So this is about the builder. Another important thing is you can even add your Lightning web component, because Salesforce has already published the LWC for end users, and you can use that as well. So, but if you're using the Visualforce pages, then you cannot use in this Lightning builder. You have the another template, which is a Visualforce plus tab. So yeah, these are the information about this builder. Then just quickly go to the another topic, which is your community moderation. Okay, what is this community moderation rule is? So once you published your community for the end user, you want to make sure that the end user are not writing anything offensive or any inappropriate content, right, into your community. So how do you make sure that, and how you are stopping that, or you are blocking their access whenever they are writing such words to your community? So of course we have this community moderation rule. This community moderation rule is a combination of content criteria plus the member criteria. Okay, so first we have to set the member criteria. Whether do you want to access this for your internal user, your partner user, or the customers whom you want to decide this moderation rule. Content criteria is talk about whenever they published anything on the community. Right, whenever they're posting anything in the group separately to anyone. So just to make sure that they're not using any appropriate words. So however, Salesforce has already added those rules by default, but on top of it, if you want to modify or add any extra words, you can use it. So I'll just walking through this, how you can set it up this moderation for the end user, and we'll see a demo that if you set up any words in this moderation rule, then how it is prevent for the user to writing such word in the post or in the comments, right? So I'll just go and click on this moderation. Yes, first one, I'll just go to this rule. So we have this member criteria, right? I'll select for this for my customer members. I'll click on edit. Yes, this moderation rule is specific to the Lightning community, which you enabled and you are currently within. Not this is not the the generic setting for all the community. So make sure if you are setting up this rule, you have to clone it for the other community as well. So this is for the community members. Then we have here the include member based on user type, whether it's an internal, it's a customer, or it's a partner. You can even set it up based on the profiles over here. So I have my custom profile is available here. I'll just add it. Okay. And even you can filter out this based on your user creation date. If you select this user creation date, then system is asked you since user was created, or the member without community contribution, like the member who have first time writing something on your community. So you can set it up. I'll just make it as a none for time being. And this is a customer. I have added my profile. I'll say save. All right. You can create as many rule as you want. This is the existing. I just modified it. If you want to add any rule based on your profile or any other different, for example, for your customer, you have some different rule, or partner, some new different. So of course you can create a new one. There's no limitation here. You can create. All right, then the next one is the content criteria. The content criteria is about what user is exactly writing in your post, or how or the comments in your community, right? So you can be you can flag that content in your community, that this is the person had mentioned this word while posting something, or you can block his access. You have even the option to say let him allow to write such contents for a 1, 2, or 3 times. Then you can block him because user may sometimes wrongly they write it something on your community they are not aware of, then that can be flagged, and you can flag it that this is what the words is used by that user in your community. So I mean you can modify it the way you want. Either you want to flag it or block the user access, anything. So I'll be just here also you can create your own content criteria, but I'll be just changing this existing one, which is system by default. I'll click on this ban keywords. So if I'll select on this ban keyword, I'm sorry. So you can see here, these are the words which is already selected by Salesforce. So I'll just quickly add one more word here. Okay. What I'll say, let's say idiot. It's a simple. Okay. I'll say save. So this is the keyword I have just added. So if my end user, community user are writing and using this keyword in their comments, then definitely it will be flagged or block that word. It won't allow user to do it. So I just created the member criteria, then the content criteria. I'll go to this moderation rule. Here you see that all the moderation rule, this is your, either you want to block the rule, or you want to just flag it out that this is the word or the specific sentence or information used in your community. So I'll just click on this, the first one. I'll say active this rule applies to post and comments. Yes, moderation block. So I don't want user to allow to write any of this banned keywords which I mentioned earlier. So let's say you can use your community members here. Let me select all the 3. Yes. Okay, this one is done. I'll just go back and I'll just go back to my builder here. I'll quickly give them an option for the groups and allow them to post something. So I'll go to this navigation menu. I'll click on edit. Let's say I'll be adding here group standard object. You have that option available here to given group. Okay, that will be a default. Save. Right. Okay, this is for the We have published it. Let's refresh. Yes, you see here. So we have this group available. I just click on that group. I will allow user to create a group. So for example, I say new. Let's see, test group. Okay, this is for test. Anything access type, let's say public, and let's say no, I don't want to upload any image. Okay, let's say done. Right, so this is the group I have created. So if the user is addressing someone with this words which I have already used, it won't allow you to add it. So I'll say hello here. I'll say share. Yeah, you see here you cannot use this idiot or the other inappropriate word in the community, right? So either you can flag it or you can block it. So like there are a few words which you at any cost you doesn't want user to be use it. So you can set it up. So this is how user will not be able to use such word in your community. All right. Okay. The next one. This is about this community moderation. We have the community gamification. What is this all about? Is you might have seen the example of the Salesforce developer community or the Stack Exchange, right? People, those who are recently active on the community or those who are giving answers, those writing good comments or let's say good post about any of this content. So you can give them a badges, like they have the silver badge, golden badge, right? Or you can just like their post or something. So the same way this gamification works in this community. If you want any user who's writing any comment or any post first time, you want him to welcome, or you want him to congratulate. Let's say he finishes some number of posts or some number of comments, he reach out that. So you definitely give them a badge. This is they will get an email saying that congratulations, you have completed your 100 posts, or you have comment more than thousands or something. So you can use this. This is also another very good feature for the community users. So what I'll just do it, I'll go back to here. We have this option here available here for the gamification. Yes, to enable this gamification, basically you have to click on this work setting, which is in the Salesforce. Once you click here, system will redirect you to the enable the setting, what kind of setting you want to enable. So I'm just currently setting up this thanks. Okay, you can set it up for your goal setting, performance setting. You can enable one by one, anything. Just for a demo purpose, I'm just selecting this one. I'll say save. Okay, so once you are done with this, just refresh this page. You have this option to enable this. Okay, so I'll just say enable. Yeah, so very first option we have here is recognition badges. So these are the badges is available by default. The system provided. If you want to add anything on top of it, you have option here. You can add your images, upload description about the badge. Okay, and make sure that this badge, if you want to use it for the community, this mission badges. Mission is nothing but your criteria, which is talk about that in which is whenever the criteria will met, then this badge will be assigned to that user. User will get a notification about this badge. So make sure that this should be a check. Okay, so I'll just take the existing one. I'll say edit, and I'll available for this. Let's say save. So this one is active for me. Then I'll go for this missions. I'll say new one. Let's say for post, you can you see the option available here. You can only select these many options to recognize the user based on what post he's writing, if it's writing any comment, receiving a comment, liking someone, okay, receiving a like. So like these are the multiple options available based on who what you want to give this badge for that user. So I'll select for the post. This is for number of post by user. For timing, I'll say 2. This is the end like number. You cannot give any number. For example, if I try to do is 2 2 2 2 2 2, so there are, you can see, right, this you cannot go beyond that. So we have a limitation for it. You cannot set it up for the infinity. So but for timing, I'm just setting up for the 2, and let's say a save. I'll go for the settings. Yeah, this is done. This is also done. We'll go back to my builder. If system should allow me to publish this, because there's a change in this. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Go back as a user. Refresh this page. Let's say hello. Let's share. Then I will say this is my second post. Okay. So share. You see here, one notification came for this user as soon as I post the second post in my group. And if you go to this notification, and you will say that you have received a badge, right? So welcome, we're glad you are here. So like that, you can give any of the badges for your community end user. So this is about the gamification. You can set it up as many as you want. There's no restriction. Now okay. So after that, we have a dashboard. Dashboard is it's the same functionality, nothing, no change for the community. The only thing is whenever you're creating the dashboards, those dashboard specific permission for the user in the profile should be enabled, and the dashboard you should share with the end user, right? So the another important thing here is whenever you are creating any report, make sure you use the report type, the custom report types, create your reports, then create a dashboard and share with the end user with the specific access, right? So these are the only important things about this dashboard. So we'll just go back and say a dashboard here. Okay, so let me create a dashboard first, but we have this option available here for the dashboard. You can select this dashboard for your different types of members. So but I'll be walking you through just creating the dashboard tab. You can explore more on this from your end, but here I'll just give you an example that how do you add your dashboard tab for your community users so that they can go for that tab and they can see the dashboard which you have shared with them. It could be any of the folder also you can share with them, any report or the other information. So for that, I'll just create a report type quickly, because as I said, this is the good way to share any dashboard information. So I'll say report type. Say custom report type. Primary object is account. My custom report type. Okay, test. This is being deployed. I'll click on next. Second object, I'll select it here as an opportunity. Let's save. Okay, why I'm creating this custom report type here is because initially when I was setting this up, then I used the standard dashboard, and it was not appear for the end user. When I just read about the the content that how you can enable this dashboard for your end user, then Salesforce recommended that you should have this custom report type, and from using those report type, the reports or the dashboards you created, you can easily share with your end user. So that's the reason I'm just creating it. Created this report, then I'll go for the reports here. Yeah, okay. I click on this new report. Let's select my custom report type. Let's say create. Oops, I selected the wrong one. Say custom report type. Yeah. So create. Okay, all my account a simple report. I'll just create it. Let's say opportunity amount. Okay, I want to create it as a summary report. For the amount, and then for the stages. Yes. It says save. Custom report. I'll save it currently for in my personal folder. But you cannot share this folder with your end user. So make sure that you created your own custom folder and added this report to that, and then share with the portal user. So I just created this and just quickly create a dashboard as well. So I'll say this pie chart. Go for this custom report. Account. Opportunities. Yeah, just save my custom dashboard. Save. Close. Right, so this is the reports and the dashboard I have created. Now I'll go to my community and then I'll just add the one more tab. Sorry, yeah. So I'll go to the builder. Okay, I'll add a dashboard tab here. So again, you have this navigation menu available with you. Click on this, add item, let's say a dashboard. Okay, I'll select the standard object because dashboard is another your standard object. I'll say dashboard, selected the object type as a dashboard. Save it, publish. Yeah, just refresh this as end user. Okay, yeah, the dashboard tab is not visible. Maybe there are a few. Okay, I created a custom profile, so I have to add few permissions to it. Just click on this. Not sure which permission for timing. I just added all, but make sure you are adding the proper report permissions to the user. What kind of permission he has, whether he can create a report folder, whether he can run a report, he can edit a report or something. But right now I've just given it for all the permission which is required. Not sure which permission will be. I'll say refresh. Yeah, here we go. So we have this dashboard tab available. So make sure any custom object, standard object, you are adding it, then you have to go back to the profile and then set it up the permission. But if I go to this all dashboard, you cannot see here. But the same thing if I'll check with the admin profile. So let's say I'll just click on this publish, click on this dashboard, then you will be able to see. So why? Because I haven't shared my dashboard with the customer portals. I'll go for the all dashboard. You see here, this is the dashboard available for me as an admin. So what I'll do is I'll go back quickly to my reports and yeah, say reports. I'll click on new dashboard folder. Dashboard for portal user. It's a save. Why I'm creating this is because this custom folder can be shared easily with the other user group or any profile, but you cannot share the standard one. So my personal I'll just drag and drop directly this to this portal user folder, and then I'll say a share with the customer portal user. Yeah, so the portal user which is enabled in your org will be available here. So timing, I have just only two user, test user 1 and test user 2. I just logged in with this. I'm not sure which user, so I'm just sharing with both. So done. Close. So for this backend setting, you don't need to publish your community each and every time. So I'll just refresh this. I'll go to the dashboard. Yeah, you see here. So the user is able to see that the custom dashboard which you created. Same way you can set up any of the dashboard based on the user information, the account, object, product, assets, any information. This can be set it up here. So this is about the dashboard, and there was a one topic which I left it for the last. So that's for the community report. So but I will just do it. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. So here we go. Okay. Okay. So this is my community. If Salesforce recommend to install this Google extension to check your about the like what kind of component you have added it to it, what is the weightage of your standard and community component, how well your community performance is. So you can check it out. So whenever you are in your community and you click on this custom extension, you see here the overall is 90% because I have only one custom component available. But as soon as you keep adding the component here, this go down based on what kind of component you added and how much data or the information is loading whenever this page is getting refreshed. So this is about you can see the score here. The 100% is quite good. I'm not sure what is the minimum threshold for this, but like this is says that if whatever things in the green, it's perfectly fine, and if it is an orange or red, then definitely you have to check the performance that, or you have to make your component very lightweight so that it shouldn't come as a red over here. And if I go to this, we have a certain options available for this. If I go to this waterfall, it will give you the information that the things which is getting load generally for the front-end user who worked mostly on this JavaScript, Bootstrap, and other things. For them, it is very helpful. They can see that like whenever they are searching anything or adding anything, that how much time it generally is taking. It's only for the developers. So you see here, right? So how much times does it your Lightning page is taking to load based on the rendering property or the things which you have set it up. And you can see here sorry, for the charts, for example, your DOM elements, how you like what are the DOM elements is getting rendered, how much time they are taking, what is the chart for them, like you can see it here. So what about your Aura components? So I have just only one component, so it is taking a time for this, and then down, and it's quite normal. So whenever user click any of the component or take any of the information, it's keep changing and give you the view that how much time does your component is taking, what is the memory your community page is having. All right, about the external storage, this is I would say example like your view state in your Visualforce pages, because in one page if you add a multiple content, then sometimes take a very long time to load the page. So you have to split it out the things. No need to add each and everything in the very initial state. It should be whenever user is accessing or clicking on something, then those components should be rendered or the information should be fetched from the database. So yes, this is like the very good extension for the developers. You can go and look around your community pages. Yeah, so this is what I have currently. I'm almost done with this. Just wrapping up with this, the last thing. Yes. Yeah. So the last one is the dashboard. Yes, that's it. Any questions, comments, or suggestion for me? Anyone have?
Hey Rohit, this is Raghu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a very good session and which you covered a lot. And yeah, actually it's a very nice explanation in the different areas of in the community, which you covered like a builder and moderation concept, how it will be helpful for the business, and the gamification and all, to encourage the community members to participate and share the information.
Yep, thank you.
And actually, I have a question
Yeah,
from the
please.
builder. In the
Okay.
builder, which you created the object pages, correct? Which is creating the 3 pages.
Let me just go back to that so that I'm sure that I'm understanding your. Okay, so here you are talking about this object pages. Yeah. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
it is creating some 3 pages, detail related and one more something list, I think.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you know, if we are doing any changes in those pages, it means it's pretty much looks like our backend page layouts.
Lightning. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So if there is any change in the like page layout, will it be automatically reflect here, or both are it is totally different?
No, it's
So
totally different. Even the initially I was thinking the same, that what if I change my existing Lightning record page, then this will get changed. No, this is the generated by system. I don't think so. You can change anything. You can only the change the, for example, if I go to this page and let's say you have a tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. So if you want to uh, if you don't want to show this related information, you want to show something like a feed, then you can add it. So only these many things you can so you see here after the detail page, apart from this related, I can see the feed. So only these you can change it here, but there's a no relation for this account detail page with the existing one.
okay, and is this mandatory to create these object pages? Because recently when I created, I don't know actually for this to create pages and all. So I just accessed the, I added the tabs, and we are accessing the, we used to access all the data about the and all the records and all those things. I never
It
created
is
this pages. Is
not
this?
mandatory, but I would say, like, you see here, right? So I have, like, for example, in your community template, along with this record access, if you want to add anything in this page, then you can add it. You don't need to change your use a Lightning component and explicitly add it to visible this information.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyone have anything? Any questions?